Welcome back, folks, to patch 1.4 Common Test Server. Now, with every new patch, there are new hidden vehicles added to the main directory files, but they are not available for the public yet. So let's do what we usually do. Let's take a sneak peek. This time around, we have 4 new vehicles. 2 vehicles are listed in the patch notes, but they are not available for being played or tested. And they are the AM Gendron, which is a premium tier 2 French wheel vehicle or car, and the other one is the Lansen C, which is a premium tier 8 Swedish medium tank competing against the Primo Victoria or the STRV81. And the other 2 that are really hidden are the HWK 30, which is a prototype to the RU251 or the Leopard 1, and the other one is the T95 / FV4201, which is the Chieftain. So actually we have 2 copies of the T95 Chieftain hybrid thing. So as always, I'll put the timestamps to each individual vehicle in the description below, and feel free to take a look at tanks.gg if you want to for the armor inspection and other stuff. I'll post the screenshots and I'll talk about the stats, whatever, but let's take a look at the tier 2 French car thing. So it's kind of small actually. It's about the same size as a ELC AMX, but it's a little bit taller, has a crew of 2, a commander and a driver, so you can train your ELC AMX. But it's a premium, so it's very likely that this is going to be a gift of some sort. Usually we don't see a selling of new premium tier 2s that often. Actually, in the last 5 years, I never saw an introduction of a premium tier 2 that became a, premium shop staple of a sort. Usually they are gifts, so it's very likely, very likely that this is going to be a gift. But it's a car, so I mean, with low tier caliber guns and inaccuracies of the guns, maybe cars are pretty decent. But then again, this thing has garbage ass DPM. 771, that is terrible. Usually they are about 1,100 to 1,200 with actual tanks, but yeah, cars, one characteristic of cars are they have terrible DPM and terrible view range, but this vehicle actually has 280, which is not bad for a low tier. So faster traverse speed, rapid firing, 25mm. 25mm, alright. So it's first prototype of an armor vehicle. It was in development from 1932 to 1934, yada yada yada, okay. Never went, almost cancelled due to insufficient funds, lack of money or Vespian gas. Ooh, never entered mass production, enter supplies, yada yada. Okay, so it's a premium, crew of 2, commander and driver, 25mm caliber pseudo autocannon. So it's an autocannon-esque of a gun back then, but they treat it as a normal gun. If you cannot have an autocannon at tier 2, it just wrecks everybody. View range is armor wise, no armor. 15mm all the way around. You get machine gun to death. So Panzer 1Cs will machine gun this to death. Oh my god. But then again, could it outrun the thing? Let's take a look at the other stats first. So 12 degrees of gun depression, 15 elevation, which is pretty good, but you don't stop. You constantly move. So, alright. 1.8 seconds of aim time, 0.43 accuracy, garbage ass DPM, low alpha. Alright. No armor whatsoever. 31.75 horsepower per ton ratio. That is actually pretty decent. There might be one other vehicle at tier 2 that has better horsepower per ton, and that is the BT2, I believe. So 69 top speed, 30 reverse speed, so it's pretty fast. I mean 69, holy crap, that's 70 for tier 2. That is real fast. Alright, concealment, it's a light tank, categorized as a light, so it has the concealment while moving. So you want to train your camouflage and other stuff. It's a premium tier 2 this should be free as a gift, so I think it's not bad. I mean, it's a fast vehicle, And for newbies and for newcomers to playing World of Tanks, the lower tiers have garbage ass accuracy, and hitting something with the slow shell velocity and garbage accuracy guns means you have a better chance to survive than getting hit with APCR at higher tiers, obviously. So compare this with the BT2 with top configuration. Yeah, the BT2 has better pen, less gun depression but better elevation, a lot better DPM, almost twice as much. That is scary, holy crap. About the same armor for the hull, but has better turret armor. Alright. Horsepower per ton ratio is 10 more. Yeah. So the BT2 has better horsepower per ton, but this thing has better top speed by 14 and better reverse speed. So it's faster in a straight line and doesn't rev up as fast. Alright. Switch. Ooh. Wait, let's take a look at the view range. About the same, but it has better camo. So this thing will keep the camo as well as. Actually, it's better than lower tier light tanks. Lower tier light tanks don't get the same treatment as higher tier light tanks. They don't have the same concealment while moving because there's a lot more light tanks at lower tiers, and they're more like medium tanks-esque or heavy tank-esque of a light tank. So you have the AMX 38 and H35. Those are more of a heavy tank-esque of a light tank, so that they don't get the concealment bonus the same as with the moving of the light tanks at higher tiers. So that's pretty decent. So this thing has the camo, has the top speed. DPM sucks, but what's interesting is it also has a third wheel or third axis. Is it axis? Let's take a look. So with the higher tiers EBRs, they can move the middle axle of the wheels and drop them into cruise or rapid mode. So cruise is having all the wheels lowered and giving you more traction and maneuverability at the cost of speed. But this thing looks fixed. It doesn't have the rotating arm thing or the sprocket thing, so it looks bolted to the hull. I think it's mostly for like driving across like rocks or stuff. So if you have a rock, it drives across a rock in the middle of your vehicle, it just has an easier time to go through it, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't have the EBR stuff. So you can take a look at the EBR, and they have the sprocket thing or the shifting arm thing, and you can see the difference. So here is the EBR with a 19 on it, but let's take a look. So here you can see with the sprocket, it's a wheel, it's arm-like wheel extension. This sprocket could lower, and this will drop the middle wheels downwards to giving you more traction. So these are the sprocket turning, I don't know what the actual term is, but these could turn, and it's like an arm to lower the middle wheels to giving you more traction. So for this vehicle, for the Gendron, it doesn't have it, so it doesn't get the fancy stuff. But as usual with lower tier stuff, you don't get complex mechanics or gameplay specific things like siege mode. You don't have that, so alright. And next, we have the Lansen C, a premium tier 8 Swedish medium tank, in competition with the Primo Victoria or the STRV81. So it's a medium, and the only high tier Swedish medium tab is up to tier 7 with what the hell that thing is called? I totally forgot. Oh my god, pop quiz! The mill? What's coming before the mill? Ah, shit. Totally forgot the tank before the mill. It's so forgettable that you just don't remember it. It's a Leo. That's right, it's a fucking Leo. It's so forgettable that I don't even care. But yeah, you don't have a high tier Swedish medium tank. It's mostly for lower tiers or for middle tiers, but you have a lot of competition, and we don't have the mill 1951 yet, so nothing to train your Swedish heavy tank crew, but this is for medium, so whatever. Now this thing has a 105mm gun, and that's a difference because most of the guns at tier 8 for medium tanks are usually below 100mm for large ally-esque of a medium tank. Russian tanks have 100mm, but it's a large gun, and this thing has the penetration 208, so that's about average. It's not that great, it's not that bad, but it has the alpha, so that's the good part, I guess. Turret turns somewhat slowly, 33.4 degrees per second. That's somewhat slow. 10 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation, standard for Swedish tanks, so they usually have pretty good gun depression. 2.4 seconds of aim time. That's leaning towards below average, so that's kind of bad, but it's alright. 0.36 accuracy. It's a large gun. DPM is actually not bad for the alpha, so alright. It's a large ass gun. It has the punching power, it has the DPM. This thing doesn't have other armor though. It's 60, 40, and 25 for the hull, and 70 at the front and at the sides for the turret. So this thing cannot bounce shots. You will be pinned. The mantlet looks small. It looks flat. I mean, you might bounce. Nah, you won't bounce that hard. This will pin. It's only 45 degrees-esque. Yeah, you will get pinned right here. I don't think this will bounce that much. It has 1,350 health. So this thing is like a TVPVTU-esque of a body. So it's better than the AMX CDC, but it's not that much better. So mobility-wise, it does have about 28.4 horsepower per ton ratio. So this thing is relatively fast to rev up. Has 50 kilometers per hour top speed and 20 reverse. Wow. So it is relatively decent in terms of mobility, but it has no armor, so you have to use that mobility. Concealment, not that bad. I mean, about 17, so it's average-ish. Yeah, okay-ish. And 380 meters of view range. Standard radio range. Crew of 4, commander, gunner, driver, loader. I think that's the same with all the Swedish medium tanks, so okay. It's better than the STRV 4257, which only has 3, I believe. So you could get to train your crews, but yeah, let's take a look at the comparison with other premiums. So usually you have the Primo Victoria. I don't think we got the STRV 81, so this is the base model, but maybe in the future we can get the STRV 81 without the Primo Victoria skin, but it doesn't have as much penetration, the same gun depression. Traverse is slower. Takes longer to reload, but this thing has a DPM, so it's a more punchy gun, but it doesn't have the accuracy or the aim time, so that's the downside. Has less health and way less armor for the turret front, so yep. Oof. Has a lot better horsepower per ton ratio though. Same top speed and reverse speed. Traverse speed is the same for the turret. Camouflage is a lot better, so that's good. It's about almost the same as the Mutts. Almost the same as the Mutts. So it's stealthier than the Primo Victorias, the AMX CDCs, and the TVPVTU in a sense, but has the below average view range. So that's a downside. So what I feel about this vehicle is it's like a... What if you have the 105 on the TVPVTU with better penetration and put it on the Panzer 51 Mutts in a sense. The Panzer 51 Mutts has a pretty decent terrain resistance, so I took a look at that. I took a look at the terrain resistance for this vehicle, and it's not that bad. So in a sense, it's like an AMX CDC, but it has a larger gun with about the same penetration, but more alpha. Obviously, a lot more alpha, and DPM is also not that bad. So I don't know. I mean, what if you put something like a gun rammer and stuff? Gun rammer usually put vertical stabilizer, and recently I started to favor coated optics instead of binoculars. I start to favor coated optics instead of vents. So with coated optics, you could get up to about 420 meters of view range. And with the rammer, you can get up to like 2,400 DPM. That's not bad. That is really not bad. But you still have to aim. And yeah, how much is the pin? 242. This gold shell sucks. Gold shell sucks. 242 is not great. Oh, Yeah, 242 is it's wonky because with other premium medium tanks you get very decent. Oh, 258. All right, fine. What's the TVP VTU's gold shell? 235. Oh my god, that's garbage. Come on, you need something like. Oh, why do I have my equipment on? Duh, that's not correct. All right, apply. Yeah, it shouldn't have that much DPM, right? Yeah, it doesn't have that much DPM as the. Yeah, I have my equipment on. Yeah, 235 is pretty bad for the gold shell on the TVP VTU. 259. So for the gold shell on this vehicle, it's about 240 something, right? 242. That's not great though when you think about it. Some medium tanks have about 260-ish of a pen, and 242 is like starting to become, you know, garbagey. There are vehicles with great gold shell, like this thing. This thing has 330 average penetration millimeters of pen. This thing has 242. So there are vehicles with really broken ass gold shells. The Object 416 is one of them. So the gold shell on this vehicle sucks. But I took a look at the other stats from tanks.gg, and it looks like the shell price to the actual alpha, if you pin, is actually pretty decent. It costs about the same as, actually it costs cheaper than the Primo Victoria's 20-pounder shells, but it deals more alpha, so technically you can make more money than the Primo Victoria if you have this vehicle. So I don't know, I mean, you have the pen still and it has lower penetration, but this thing is not really a sniper. But then again, you have to snipe because this thing doesn't have the armor to, you know, take hits like the Primo Victoria's turret. So it has the shell pricing to the alpha ratio to make more credits than the STRV-81 per shot, but it doesn't have the armor. So it's relatively fast, but it's still paper armor, and you will get pinned by almost everything. Other than like tier 6s in some sense, but then again, tier 6 could just pin the 70mm, 60mm on the hull front. So just hit here, you'll pin. So it's alright, but as always with the Swedish vehicles, give us a heavy tank trainer. So people are waiting on the Emil 1951, but okay. I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, it's nothing special, right? I mean, the gun's alright. The gun's pretty okay, pretty decent, but if this thing has like 150, 200mm of hull front, at least on the turret, maybe, but it doesn't. So paper armor, like a Mutz, but faster. Buff the Mutz, buff the TVP-VTU. That thing is garbage. And next, we have the HWK 30. I thought it was a prototype to the RU251. It's actually afterwards. It developed from the RU251 with an elongated hull, but it's Leopard-esque in terms of lookingness, but has a 90mm gun, crew of 4. It's a premium, so why don't we get the Aufklärungs Panzer 5, the Awful Panther back? It's already in the game files for about a year now, with the HD remodel and stuff. I don't know, but alright, Romtel made gun, 90mm. Penetration is average-ish, 180 for tier 8 light tank. DPM is actually decent for light, so about 2100. Accuracy 0.35. Uncharacteristic of Germans, but hey, it's been a while. Aim time is 2.1. It's okay, average. 10 degrees of gun depression, 18 elevation, 44 degrees per second of turret traverse. That's pretty good. So it's a 90mm, does the 240 average alpha standard. Armor wise, no armor. 25 at the front for the hull and 20 for the turret front. It's a light tank. What do you expect? 28.5-ish horsepower per ton ratio, so it's not that slow to rev up. 70 kilometers per hour top speed, that's good. 24 reverse, it's okay. 52 hull traverse, that's pretty decent. Alright. I'll put the terrain resistance in edit, but yeah, mobility doesn't look that bad. Concealment, oh, for a light tank, it's actually okay. It's not that great, so it's more of a medium. Yeah, that's not a great concealment. As you saw with the previous, the Lansen C and the Mutts, they have better camo, so this is a light tank. Yeah, it's more of a medium tank's camo though. 410 meters of view range. We're actually getting better back towards unnerfed light tank's view range. 410, that's actually pretty good. Alright, so it's a medium tank-esque of a light tank. It's like the RU-251 with a longer hull. Alright, crew of 4 to train your commander, gunner, driver, loader. I think that's the same with the RU-251, maybe? Let's take a look. Tech tree, RU-251. Right here. Crew of... it's not as... wow, it looks almost the same. What the fuck? It looks almost the same. Yeah, it's the same commander, driver, loader. Alright. Wow, that really looks... okay, so remember the pickaxe and the vent for the engine deck, I think. Wow, that really looks... 2 commander hatch or cupolas for the commander and the gunner, supposedly. Yeah, it doesn't have the pickaxe. Kind of looks the same with the bristle rack in the back, but... and wow, this just looks like a freaking RU-251 at tier 8. Oh my god. Upon closer inspection, it just looks like a RU-251. It's supposed to be a longer hull, right? Particularly to Mexico, the variant inherit the same armor and armament from the predecessor, but feature a elongated hull and additional support roller. Alright, so additional these support rollers on the top, but wow, okay. I mean, 410 meters of view range, that's not bad. That's better than the RE251, I think. So, 1 second. Give me 1 second. How much view range does the RE251 with the turret? It's actually the same. Wow. I thought it was like 400. Alright. Not bad. But compare this to the Black Bulldog or the M41 90mm for the Germans. Slightly lower penetration. The same alpha-ish with the 90mm. Slower turret traverse. Got more gun depression. Lower, or actually goes lower and goes higher with the gun elevation. Alright, that's good. Better accuracy, longer aim time, less DPM, doesn't have the gold shell HESH or high explosive plastic on the Bulldog. About the same armor. It's a lot bigger than the Bulldog though. Better horsepower per ton ratio, slightly lower top speed. Okay, better camo. Holy crap! This. Oh yeah, then again, it's a Bulldog. What do you? It's a Bulldog. It doesn't have camo. Yeah, it's just bigger target for a Bulldog. But wait, hold on. Let me take a look at the gold shell. It's 250. All right. It's a high explosive anti-tank heat shell, whereas the Bulldog has a high explosive plastic. Oh, that's the HEP. That's for the high explosive. You can also use a high explosive anti-tank as well. Huh. Does this thing has a high explosive? No, it doesn't. Actually, it's like the HEP shell. It's like the high explosive plastic. Oh, that's pretty good. So it's a Bulldog in a sense, but yeah, it's like the high explosive plastic. It's like a Bulldog in a sense, but what does this thing has over the Bulldog? What are the trade-offs? So this thing has a better rev up speed in a sense, but the same armor, garbage. Well, view range is a little bit better at the cost of size of the vehicle. So if you didn't have a chance to get the Black Bulldog, you could get this thing if you want, but wow, high explosive plastic for the high explosive round. That's actually pretty decent. I mean, DPM is not as great as the Bulldog, so there are downsides. It doesn't feel, that much different. It's larger. It's more like a medium tank than a light tank. But then again, the Bulldog doesn't have the same. It's still garbage camo, so even less for the awful Panther. It's been in the game files. This used the Konish. Some players told me that it used the same Konish gun and the APCR, the gold shell for default, but they're not going to put this. 220, that's way too good. Yeah, alright, I mean, okay. It's a RU251 in different flavors, I guess. It looks like the RU251 at tier 8 in a sense. But then again, a lot of the premiums are just, reskinned of the same vehicle you have at the same tier or at other tiers. KV122, for example, that piece of shit. But then again, yeah. How much different as this compares with the HWK 12, I think. Light tank for the Germans. Standard configuration, top configuration. So for the Germans, it's still 90mm. Better DPM slightly. The same accuracy, longer aim time. About the same turret traverse. About the same reload-ish. Horsepower per ton ratio, not as fast to rev up, but better top speed. Better turret traverse. Oh, hull traverse, never mind. Better hull traverse. Same garbage ass armor. Not as good in concealment. So, and it's bigger. It's more of a medium tank. I don't know. It's on a rating of 1 to 10. This feels like a 7, average-ish. I mean, how much did I give the Emil 1951? 7.5? It feels alright. I mean, it doesn't feel that great. Doesn't feel overpowered because it's German. You cannot power up German vehicles. So, out of a scale, 7-ish. For the previous, I'll put the rating in edit in post, but for the AMX Gendron, I think that's a fun meme. I think that's actually an 8 at tier 2 because it's fast. And for the friggin' Lansen C, I think that's the downside to the Lansen C is it's like a TVP VTU but better. So TVP VTU is like a 4 or 5, but I would say 7 also. I mean, it's the Alpha, that's pretty good, but that's pretty much it out of that vehicle. And the speed, but corridor maps and stuff means you just get stuck and trying to snipe with garbage ass accuracy. And the gold shell sucks on that thing too. So as you saw with this vehicle, it's a light tank. It's a pseudo light tank, medium tank. And this thing has about 250mm of pen with the gold shell. Yeah, it has about 250mm of pen. The Lansen C has 242. It's a medium tank. So it's it's like a hybrid of a light tank slash medium tank, but oh well, okay. I guess that's okay. And finally, we have the T95 slash FV4201 Chieftain hybrid. Already have this vehicle in the game, but this is a copy of that vehicle with a different model and side skirts. It doesn't have the searchlights and the thermal sleeve on the gun barrel, but it's the FV4201 Chieftain hybrid thing with the T95 medium tank. So it has the T95's hull and the Chieftain's turret, but already have that vehicle with the searchlights and the thermal sleeve on the gun barrel. Not the side skirts though. So, okay. I mean, wait a minute. I noticed something. That vehicle was a premium. Wait, what? That's actually categorized as a premium, not a reward vehicle. It makes more credits per battle. What the frick? I think this is a very big typo. Because if this vehicle gets introduced as a reward vehicle, it's basically a tier 10 premium. What the fuck? It's a copy of that vehicle with premium status. What? Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Doesn't have the machine gun, doesn't have the searchlight and the thermal sleeve on the gun barrel, but it does have the side skirts, so yeah, 2 copies of the same vehicle. But then again, we have like 5 copies of the Centurion and like a billion copy of the T-34, so who the hell am I to judge? But it has the, yep, the L11A1 120mm. Yeah. Has the ridiculous penetration APCR shell. I think it's APCR shell, right? Let's take a look. But we already have this vehicle. Yeah, you already see it right here. We already have the Chieftain in the game files. Never released for a billion years, because why would you ever release it? APCR, yep. And better APCR. Hesh shell, yep. That's also pretty good. Yeah, it's a Chieftain with a T95's hull and side skirts, but 270mm of pen, that's actually pretty good. 10mm above average, about 10 to 20-ish. 440 alpha, that's usually 400 alpha, but they buffed it to 440 by 10%. Oh, that's pretty decent. Rate of fire is about 6 rounds per minute, so DPM is actually pretty good for a heavy tank, but eh, 0.34 accuracy. I think it could get a little bit better than 0.34, like 0.33. But 2 seconds of aim time, 10 degrees of gun depression. Slow turret traverse, about 30 degrees per second, so it takes about 10 seconds to reload. With the rammer, it's about like 9 something. It has a pretty strong turret, but the hull armor is not 127. I took a look at tanks.gg. It's actually about 88.9. It's about 90mm right here, but it's well sloped. However, it does have a lower plate, so just shoot the lower plate. But originally, about the Chieftain, one big gripe I had about it is the hull armor was pretty bad. It was about 70 to 80, and it was flat. So back then, artillery shells with the high caliber guns like 210mm or 170 plus usually have about 90mm of pen. And artillery shells, if they hit the Chieftain's hull, it will penetrate and deal about, back then it was like 1750 alpha or 2000 alpha, and basically just wrecks any heavy tanks without, armor for the hull. So now they got nerfed. So I think it's time to reintroduce, or actually introduce, the Chieftain, but they don't. Side armor is garbage, rear armor is real garbage. Turret armor at the front is very good. Turret armor at the side is okay. And real garbage. 17 for the rear. Holy crap, that's garbage. But then again, it's the rear of the turret. What do you expect? So yeah, it's a Chieftain with a T95's hull. Okay. Mobility, about 17 horsepower per ton ratio. Wow. 16.7. That's actually pretty good. About 46 kilometers per hour top speed, 31.3-ish for hull traverse. That's actually not bad. Holy crap. Concealment, it's a heavy tank. What do you expect? There's no concealment. 410 meters of view range. That's also pretty good. Let's take a look at the comparison, because they buffed the alpha. So, yep. It's better alpha. Lower rate of fire, so that cancels out. There are some benefits to having one or the other. Like with rapid firing guns like faster reload, you get to detrack and detrack and detrack. With larger alpha, you get to don't expose yourself and trade better with the shots. So there are trade-offs, but it's okay. Same gun depression elevation, slower turret traverse speed, longer aim time, same accuracy, lower DPM, almost 200, 150-ish. Alright, more hit points, about the same hull, I think. It's a misleading hull armor. It's about 88. I took a look at tanks.gg, and it's about 89-ish for the hull front. It's not about 127. If it's 127, it's a lot better, but it's not. I don't think it is. 350 for the turret front compared to 250, but it's well rounded. It does have the commander cupola weak spot. We'll take a quick look, but yeah, shoot the cupola, obviously. and that's the weak spot. So there is a weak spot, you can hit it, but it's not as big or tumorous as something like a T110E5. So yeah, it's a small target, and just wiggle the turret back and forth and you'll be fine. But yeah, this hull front is about, yeah, really well sloped, but it's about 90-ish millimeters, so I doubt it will bounce a lot of shots. But as always, shoot with the beak, shoot into the beak, and you'll penetrate in the lower plate. So armor wise, okay, but yeah, it's a lot better horsepower per ton ratio than the actual, the previous hybrid and the actual Chieftain. So not as fast of a top speed. I'll take a look at the terrain resistance to see if it's good and put in post of the terrain resistance and stuff. But slower hull traverse, okay. Wow, the concealment is real garbage compared to the hybrid, the previous hybrid. The previous hybrid is a heavy tank too. It's not a medium. Alright? Yeah, it's a heavy too. Huh. Why does it have like a lot better camo? Like a medium tank's camo has better camo than the M60 and stuff. Why does the M60 have garbage ass camo? What the frick? Alright, so it's a... God damn it. Freaking anti-American bias. But 210 meters of view range, which is better than the 410. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, it's faster to rev up. A lot better frontal turret armor, and it does have the side skirts with better side armor. So side armor is 88, not 50. 50 is garbage. You cannot side skirt with 50. You could, but it's real steep angle. So out of the reward tier 10s for Clan Wars, this thing is not that bad. But if you don't play Clan Wars, if you are going to play Clan Wars for a reward vehicle, I would recommend the 907 first. Obviously, it's Russian bias, but let me compare one other vehicle with this group, just to be sure. It's a heavy tank. It's a British. Yeah, obviously, it's a butt fucking super conqueror. Remove all my stuff because that's not accurate. But yeah, Super Conqueror doesn't have the penetration or the alpha, but the Super Conqueror has a butt fucking turret and space armor for the hull front, and the cupola is real well rounded, and a lot more DPM. What about the horsepower per ton ratio? It's better on the vehicle. The weird problem with this vehicle is it makes credits, and it makes credits for a tier 10 reward vehicle. It's not supposed to do that. So this is a big ass typo, but can we just get the Chieftain already? You have been tickling our balls for our longest time. It's been like what, 3 years? 4 years? Stop tickling my balls and give us the Chieftain. Better yet, give us the Challenger for that matter, because why the hell would not? You can't even penetrate the freaking Type 5 anyway. Or the 268 version number 4. Just give us the Challenger. I'll go through those like butter. Son of a bitch. Give us the Chieftain. What the frick? So, if they don't put the credit making capabilities for this vehicle, obviously you cannot. How would I rate this thing? It has the DPM, but it's slightly worse than the actual hybrid, the previous hybrid, not this version. So we're going to call the previous hybrid version number 1, and this hybrid version number 2. So with version number 1, it has a lot more DPM, a little bit more DPM, not a lot more, a little bit more DPM at the cost of horsepower per ton ratio. So this thing has the alpha, so it's more of a slower firing gun, but not that much. But it does have better side skirts, side armor and side skirts, so better side scraping capabilities. I mean, if this thing has like 350 millimeters of pen with the gold shell with the premium ammo, it might be better than the 310 or better than the FV4201K, but yeah, most of the time you need something powerful to go through something like the VK or the Type 5s. But 270 is not bad. Its APCR shell does get the drop off and the 2 degrees of normalization compared to the 5 for AP shells, so there are downsides, but this thing still gets targeted by artillery, and no armor for the hull front means high explosive shells would definitely hurt. Same goes with Type 5 high explosive shell from the 152, because why not? Same goes with the 183 HESH shell from freaking, or HEP shell, or HESH, whatever, from the FV215B 183. It does have a commander cupola weak spot, but it's small, but it's not like invincible like the Super Conqueror. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad. People do like the original test of the T95 / Chieftain, but it's different with this vehicle. So yeah, get the 907 first, obviously, because Russian bias. But I don't play Clan Wars. I cannot get this vehicle. Why does it have like better camo for the M60 than, or the camo is weird for the first version of this vehicle. 15, that's about like a medium tank's camo, whereas the rest are pretty much heavy tanks. That is weird. And the M60 has like the same camo as a heavy tank. What the fuck? That doesn't make sense. Ugh. And that's all, folks. All the hidden vehicles of patch 1.4. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this patch with the French wheel vehicles at high tiers, because basically you can play the game and don't give a shit and Suicide Scout and play Eurobeat and sing like a weeb, because why not? That would be great. I can't wait. Also, I wish they would bring back Frontlines with the French tier 8, EBR 75mm FL10. That would be pretty sweet. And what's the other one? I totally forget. I think that's a Panhard 6x6. Let's take a look. I totally forget the names. It's EBR. It's a Lynx. The Panhard AML Lynx 6x6. I cannot wait to play Frontlines driving this thing across the maps at top speed of what? Oh, top speed of 82. That's pretty sweet. Can I upgrade the engine? Actually, I can upgrade the engine. Upgrade. The same turret. 90mm. Oh, it has a 90 then a 75. Nice. 82, cruising at about 34-ish, 34.7-ish horsepower per turn ratio. That's actually... Yeah, I cannot wait for Frontlines to come back and you can play this thing and driving across the maps doing Suicide Scout stuff and singing Eurobeat while driving. That's so awesome. And you can play this thing at tier 6. It's like a tow truck. It's like a tow truck. But yeah, this patch, I mean, we're getting like every 2 months a patch, and that's pretty good. We just came off of the holiday season, and we're getting computer optimization with this patch, as well as one map and revision to the second season of personal missions for the Chimera and 726. Oh, it's not bad. I mean, there's a lot of stuff for World of Tanks, but then again, some of the other aspect of World of Tanks is garbage, like the promo teams or the event design team, because they don't know shit. I mean, the control aspect, like the base model, like with the game itself, like the mechanics, the vehicle design looks, and the direction those people are going with is pretty good. You get cars and stuff. Next, we'll probably will get like wheeled tank destroyers or something. That would be great. That would be pretty decent. But yeah, other direction, like with the promo teams, with the PR system and the public relations. Ugh, God, So yeah, shit. You gotta have everything that's great, right? Son of a bitch. Also, you could put inscription with the number and stuff with this patch. So I took a look. You could go to inscriptions. You can actually paint your own number onto a vehicle. So if you have your own favorite number, like what? Wow, that sucks. You gotta put 666 on your vehicle because it's, you know, bad form. 444. Those are cursed with the letter 4 or the number 4 in the Asian region because it sounds like death, obviously, superstition. But obviously, the only number I know is 619. Yeah. Don't sing the song. Don't sing the song. All right. You can also apply to all types of map. That's pretty good. So, I mean, obviously you won't have text because you can just write penis on your vehicle. But then again, if you can just filter out, like if you can filter out 666, right? You can also obviously filter out like penises or, you know, cunt and stuff. It's cursed like a sailor. But yeah, this patch, I mean, if we're getting a patch every 2 months with optimization stuff, with a new map and new tech tree and shit, I'll shut my face. I'll shut my face about the direction Wargame is going with. But there are some aspects like the promo teams, like the public relations, like the balancing of the stuff. Jesus fucking Christ. The visual aspect is great. The mechanics aspect is great. It's like the siege mode or the cars stuff. That's awesome. Aspects like freaking artillery nerf and the stupid stun shit. But there you go, folks. We'll talk about the cars, the wheel vehicles, in the next video. But there you go, all the hidden vehicles in this patch. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this vehicle, enjoyed the video and the vehicles. Can't talk. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.